Well, everyone, the iPhone 11 is one of those iPhones that I'm currently kind of, worried about right now, which is kind of interesting because not that long ago, this was an iPhone that I was looking at as probably being one of the better iPhones that Apple has ever made. But as of right now, there's one reason why I'm kind of somewhat worried about this particular phone, and it actually kind of comes down to its, software longevity. There's a high chance and a high likelihood that this particular iPhone is probably going to be stuck in a very, very weird spot, meaning that it might end up getting the next version of iOS, which is going to be iOS 18. It's rumored to be a pretty big update, which is awesome, but there can be a problem here. This iPhone could end up being the stopgap or the stop, version of a phone for a lot of these updates and a lot of these features. And if the iPhone XR is no longer getting software support, on iOS 18, there could also be a chance that if this big version of software ends up bringing a lot of cool stuff to the table, this may be like an iOS 7 type of update or iOS 9 type of update for the, iPhone 4S. Because if you think about it, when those particular iPhones got these, big versions of softwares, it actually ended up having a detrimental effect on these iPhones because those particular iPhones just really weren't equipped of handling those big, changes in software. So because of that, a lot of people were saying, hey, I would rather just have my older iPhone on like an older version of iOS that was still usable rather than rocking an iPhone that's currently technically still supported with software that might have some issues inside of it. So that's kind of like another big thing that kind of, I would say kind of worries me a little bit about this particular phone. On top of that, there's another high likelihood, this is pretty crazy, that Apple may end up going through and essentially unsupporting the iPhone 11 the same time as the iPhone XR. Now, why would Apple do something like that? Well, if we look at the last couple of iPhones, Apple's pretty much dropped some iPhones in pairs of twos. The iPhone 5S, iPhone 6, the iPhone 6S, iPhone 7. The only time they haven't done this was, recently is with the iPhone 10s, but even then they dropped 3 different iPhones at the same time. The iPhone 10, 8, and 8 Plus. There can be a high likelihood and a big, reason as to why Apple could actually go through and essentially, release this iPhone and basically unsupport this iPhone, on that version of software. Now, again, I don't know for a fact, but if I had to kind of guess, there could be an argument that could be made from that specific perspective. So that's kind of like another smaller minor thing to kind of keep in mind there too. On top of that, with this type of device, I definitely do think with the iPhone 11, it's still worth buying. It's still a good phone and I still like this iPhone a lot, but if it's going to be on its last leg in the next year, is it still going to be worth it, to buy an iPhone 11 and still use this iPhone for the next couple of years? Not really too sure. We haven't really had iPhones where like when they're unsupported, they're still worth buying. I think the iPhone 10 could almost be like one of those iPhones, but the iPhone 11 could actually end up being one of those iPhones too. Who knows? If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.